Okay, before you do your airbrush foundation, you are going to want to conceal first. So I am going to both color correct and conceal. I don't know if you can see, but I do have some dark melasma right here that it's going to take a little bit more than just concealer. I have a little bit here too. I have some, dark spots where I had a blemish before. So I'm going to use the Temptu Pro color correcting wheel first. Actually, it's called the silicone-based Neutralizer Wheel. Okay, now that we've color corrected, I am going to go in with my regular concealer, mainly for my under eyes, which do need more than just the yellow color corrector to counteract the purplish tone. I'm going to use my Kat Von D Tattoo Concealer, and this is what I use under my eyes. If you do need additional coverage beyond color correction elsewhere on your face, just take a cream concealer like this. This is Stila's Stay All Day Concealer. I'm just going to use a stippling brush like before and kind of go over the areas that need a little more heavy-duty concealing. Now that we have color corrected and concealed, you're probably wondering why we did all that when we're going to do our foundation anyway. Because Airbrush is literally the finest application of foundation you can have, it is tiny, tiny particles, the most lightweight. There are some things it just can't cover the way a more pigmented cream concealer could. So you do need to really knock out those dark areas like I had, the hyperpigmentation, the noticeable blemishes, dark circles that are hard to cover. You do need to kind of do that first because the airbrush finish is so light and undetectable, but that does mean that it is not as great for covering, serious darkness. This is the Temptu machine, and it does have a dial where it shows with a little notch where it feels would be ideal for a foundation application. I will tell you that I need to take mine a little higher simply because in terms of the colors, I am mixing the shade 3 and 4. 3 is called Ivory, 4 is called Sand. I feel that I'm kind of in between right now, kind of coming off of summer with a little bit of a tan, so that's why I'm mixing. I think in the winter I will probably be able to just eliminate the 4 Sand and just use Ivory. So we're ready to put our foundation into our gun. So you have your gun here. Mine is the SE-50, and we're going to put the product in the top cap right there. So since I'm mixing, I'm gonna put in my lighter one first because that's what I need more of. So I already shook this up really, really well. I'm going to put about 7. And for the darker color, which is 1 up from the one I just did, this is 4, Sand, I will put about 5 drops. Okay, so you can either mix this using a little brush, you can back bubble, which is where you turn on the flow of air, cover up this, pull your trigger back. I'm gonna mix it first, and I'm just using the end of a brush. And then I will back bubble a little bit once I turn the airflow on. Okay, so you can hear the gun is going. It is noticeable, but it's not as loud as some airbrush machines, so it's nice if you like to, talk to your client, if you're a makeup artist, or if you just like to watch TV, it's not too loud. So, as you can see, the air is on. Woo! You'll know if your airflow is working because you'll feel the air on your skin before you pull back the trigger. Once you pull back the trigger, This does not feel like water-based makeup, so if you look at my Boleto Studio video, that's water-based makeup and it feels like water going on your skin. Because this is silicone-based, I really can't even feel the makeup on my skin, so you just need to really watch and see the gradual build, because it's not as detectable as the feel of water-based airbrush makeup. So I'm going to pull my trigger back and start to move in circular motions, keeping your hand moving the whole time. Don't sit in one place, you'll get a big hot spot. So I usually start on the sides of my face because that's where I need the most coverage, and then I kind of just go from there. Okay, I'm going to set with the translucent setting powder. This is Tarte's Amazonian Clay finishing powder. This one is great. Makeup Forever HD powder. Really just anything that's translucent and will mattify and set your airbrush foundation. Alright, now that my airbrush foundation is completely done and set, I'll tell you a few little closing thoughts about this. So I think that this is great for professionals, even aspiring makeup artists. You want to, get into airbrushing, kind of play around with it. However, I don't think that this model is extremely user-friendly for, just the everyday woman on the go. It is more time-consuming. I think the Boleto Studio one I reviewed, which is a water-based makeup system, I think that is a lot more user-friendly and it's way faster. The water-based makeup flows through the gun probably 2 times as fast as the silicone-based. I do really like the look of the silicone-based makeup though, and Temptu's the only one right now that makes a silicone-based airbrush makeup formula. I like it because it honestly looks like real skin. When you get close up, it has minimized pores a lot better. I explained the water-based airbrush makeup finish as a porcelain doll finish, whereas this just looks like great skin with a hint of dewiness. I love dewy skin, that's just my preference, and I have dry skin, so I'm attracted to that. So that might be why I like the look of silicone-based foundations better. However, I do like the application of the water-based foundation in something like the Boleto Studio. You can use water-based foundation in this gun, however, I wouldn't mix it. I would kind of do what I have, which is I have a water-based system, I have a silicone-based system, and I keep them separate just because the cleaning over time, it's going to be labor-intensive and you're probably going to get some clogs with the silicone, making your water-based not flow through as well. All in all, I think it's a great buy for a professional makeup artist. It's still taking me a while to get the hang of it entirely and feel like I've totally mastered it. But if you are a major makeup lover and you like to try things and experiment, this has been very challenging but fun to experiment with. I'm certainly not an airbrush expert by any means. It's a new medium for me too. I'm learning as I go, so definitely, learn as much as you can, learn a lot about the gun itself. I have felt like a amateur mechanic with this gun. I've replaced a nozzle and I've, done things with the chucking nut needle. I mean, I've learned a lot that is entirely beyond makeup because of this airbrush gun. So, yeah, I would check it out for makeup artists. For the everyday consumer, they do have a version with AirPods, so you don't do the liquid makeup drop into the top. The gun looks different. I've heard that one's much more user-friendly just for everyday makeup. I didn't want to go that route because I want to be able to custom mix colors. As you can see, I've already had to do that on myself, and I do have to do it on other people. So I like the format of this one. It's definitely more for professional use. The AirPods are great for everyday consumer use. And also check out the Boleto Studio one. I did really enjoy that. Much easier to use, just a little bit more of a matte finish, which is easily remedied with the luster drops. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you learned a little bit more about the